Not every attack begins with movement. Sometimes it starts the moment distance disappears without warning. In near absolute silence, the hyena observes, adjusts, and only acts when the deviation is no longer present. Here, the outcome doesn't belong to the stronger one, but to the one who chooses the right moment when the opponent is no longer able to react. In the grasslands of East and South Africa, such as Tanzania, Kenya, Namibia, and Botswana, herds of wildebeest move in constant search of grass and water. Each year, more than 1.5 million participate in the Serengeti migration, leaving Tanzania for Kenya when the dry season arrives. An adult weighs up to 600 pounds. A mere few feet deviation means an animal is immediately tracked. At the edge of the low grassland, a pack of spotted hyenas began observing the straggler. They maintained a spread, moving slowly and adjusting to the wind direction to avoid detection. When the prey lost focus, one hyena accelerated, while the others forced its way, closing the gap and maintaining pressure. The chase forced the wildebeest to accelerate to rejoin the pack, but it couldn't maintain the pace for long. It changed direction repeatedly and launched rear kicks to keep its distance, but to no avail. The hyenas took turns approaching, slowing the prey down. When close enough, one closed in, while the others blocked its path. The outcome favored the hyenas. The sustained pressure at the end shows that in dry grassland conditions, the advantage belongs to the side with better pace control. Just a few feet of distance and a moment of slowing down can decide the outcome. On the savanna, small deviations are usually only a one-time occurrence and there's no chance of correction. Covering the sparse forests of Africa, the leopard begins its solitary journey with a slow, almost silent pace. It can crawl dozens of meters along the ground and only strikes when it is a few meters from its prey. If detected, it stops and retreats immediately. This preference for safety sometimes makes it vulnerable to being tracked. Shortly afterward, a pack of hyenas began to pursue the leopard as it crossed the open space. They spread out, maintaining distance and constantly shifting positions to cut off escape routes. When the leopard turned cautiously, sounds rang out. The encirclement gradually closed, and space began to shrink. The increasing pressure forced the leopard away from the area with large trees. It turned, growled, and tried to maintain distance, but couldn't last long. As its pace slowed, the hyenas closed in and blocked its escape route. After many attempts to defend itself, the leopard gradually lost strength, was subdued, and the hyenas took complete control of the situation. The transition from stalking to closing in clearly shows the difference between the two survival strategies. The leopard prioritizes safety and avoids conflict, while the hyenas utilize numbers and maintain pressure. When space shrinks, the leopard's advantage disappears, and a slight slowdown is enough to finish it off. on the arid grasslands of Africa. The rhinoceros moves slowly, but possesses superior strength. Weighing over 2.5 tons, with skin several centimeters thick and a horn nearly a meter long, it is powerful enough to toss large opponents. It can run at speeds exceeding 40 kilometers per hour when needed. This stability sometimes makes it complacent about surrounding movements. From a safe distance, the hyenas began observing and moving in wide circles around the rhinoceros. They didn't approach directly, but constantly shifted positions, trying to force their opponent to turn. When the distance was close enough, each hyena would take turns closing in and then quickly withdrawing, creating continuous pressure and prolonging the confrontation. The prolonged pressure forced the rhinoceros to constantly turn and butt to maintain distance. The hyenas took turns harassing it, slowing down its movements. When its stamina decreased, it was pushed out of its advantageous position and forced to retreat. This confrontation demonstrates that strength doesn't always determine success and contributes to maintaining ecological balance. In lions, every action is carefully considered beforehand, with observation and timing playing a crucial role in controlling the situation. Weighing between 120 and 180 kilograms, they can sprint to nearly 60 kilometers per hour over short distances, possessing very strong claws and jaws. Their ability to recognize roles and calculate approaches remains stable. When resting after a long journey, gaps in their vigilance gradually appear and begin to be exploited. A patch of sparse forest fell silent as the hyenas advanced in a dispersed formation, constantly changing positions and narrowing their range of movement. When the lion rose to warn them, one group of hyenas held the front. Another approached from behind, gradually taking control of the direction. With its direction controlled, the lion turned to counterattack, but its pace slowed. Short, repeated close-range attacks weakened its stamina. When it could no longer maintain distance, the hyenas simultaneously blocked its path, relentlessly pressing forward. After much resistance, the lion lost the initiative and was subdued. The loss of the initiative demonstrates that when pressure is sustained, the ability to control gradually diminishes. Small changes in pace and space are enough to reverse the situation, establishing an outcome in a short time. Taupus maintain a high level of vigilance when living in groups and have clearly defined observational roles. They can stand and observe for hours on high ground and signal when they see unusual movement. They react very quickly and prefer to leave early to maintain distance. When they separate and stop to rest, their vigilance decreases, creating a weakness that can be quickly exploited. From the exposed weak point, a hyena crept along the low grass, keeping the wind at its side to close the distance. At the right moment, it accelerated, forcing the taupi to turn and flee. The direction of escape constantly changed, while the predator maintained a steady rhythm and called for reinforcements, gradually controlling the distance and closing the gap. Once the distance was under control, a precise close-range attack on the hind leg caused the prey to lose balance. Immediately afterward, the others joined in, locking the direction and maintaining pressure. After many escape attempts, the topi's stamina waned, and it was subdued, allowing the hyena pack to maintain the advantage until the end. In the vast savanna, African elephants move through grasslands, woodlands, and even semi-deserts in search of water and food. A mature animal weighs many tons, capable of knocking down large trees and trampling enemies to death. Its trunk is powerful enough to overwhelm an opponent. This advantage persists until the formation widens, and small changes in distance begin to be noticed. Beyond the arid grasslands, the hyena pack stops when they spot a herd of elephants crossing the savanna. They disperse in various directions, silently observing and waiting for an opportunity when the calf falls behind, creating distance from the herd. When the time comes, the hyenas accelerate, closing in from multiple directions and forcing the mother elephant to turn defensively. The shrinking space forces the mother elephant to both shield her calf and find a way back to the herd. The trunk swinging and stomping only create short gaps. The hyenas continue to pursue, taking turns cutting in their path and maintaining pressure. As the distance widens, the calf is separated, and control shifts to the hyena pack, helping to maintain the ecological balance. Unlike many other predators, the cheetah optimizes its advantage through speed and timing rather than confrontation. It observes from a distance, approaches silently, and only explodes when the distance is close enough. After a short sprint, the prey is quickly subdued, but this is also when its energy is depleted, revealing a clearly weakened state. The momentary decline in its state was quickly recognized when a hyena, hungry for days, spotted the cheetah with its carcass. It shortened the distance, shifting from a cautious approach to a decisive close-range assault. Taken by surprise, the cheetah retreated, trying to hold on to its prey but lacking the strength to maintain it. The mounting pressure caused the cheetah to falter. Unable to sustain a fight after the hunt, it was forced to abandon its prey to avoid injury. This moment presented an opportunity, and the hyena quickly seized the prize, maintaining its full advantage. Strength, speed, or size are not the ultimate deciding factors. Rather, it is the ability to control distance and choose the right moment. When the rhythm of movement is disrupted and deviations occur, the advantage quickly accumulates on one side, causing the opponent to lose their ability to react. The rule gradually becomes clear. Victory belongs to the one who reads the right timing. On the prairie, even a single moment of delay can determine the outcome. in the harsh wilderness of Africa, where every movement can trigger an attack. Lions not only hunt, but also control the moment of life and death. From the tall grass to the calm water's edge, each approach is meticulously calculated, and when the distance is close enough, the attack is so swift that the prey has no time to react. These are nature's most tense moments, where strength, tactics, and instinct converge in a single beat. Along vast grasslands, wild buffaloes live in areas with abundant grass, near rivers, lakes, and swamps. They move in large herds, foraging during the day and heading to water's edge in the evening to drink and bathe in mud. This habit gradually leads them to areas of tall grass where predators are waiting. Hiding near the edge of the grassland, a lion patiently watches the herd of buffalo, waiting for the moment the entire herd moves through a narrow area before suddenly pouncing and causing chaos, forcing a young buffalo to separate from the group, and that very moment puts the prey in a confrontation. As soon as separated, the buffalo turns to confront the lion, but the distance has narrowed. The lion uses its weight and momentum to overwhelm it, resulting in a short, tense struggle, and ultimately, victory goes to the predator. Such hunts are not just individual competitions. They contribute to maintaining the natural order, where numbers, strength, and timing are intertwined, thus keeping the ecosystem functioning in a stable cycle. In sparsely vegetated areas and open forest edges, where acacia trees are scattered and water sources vary seasonally, giraffes choose environments that are just open enough for observation, but tall enough for foraging. Unlike zebras, which often prefer open grasslands to move in large herds, giraffes avoid areas that are too dense or too open, and this balance is why they are often found in areas where they are easily tracked. Amidst the low grass, a group of lions dispersed their formation and lowered their bodies. Instead of targeting the adults, they patiently approached the cubs, then suddenly accelerated from multiple directions, creating continuous pressure. This coordinated action forced the prey into an isolated position. Separated from its mother, the cub became disoriented and constantly changed direction. The lions maintained their distance and gradually tightened their encirclement. The outcome sealed when the prey could no longer maintain its speed. This hunt demonstrates the importance of group tactics when facing large prey, where maintaining constant pressure is more crucial than individual strength. In reality, this kind of organization allows predators to capitalize on fleeting opportunities. In rivers and swamps, where hippos spend most of their time submerged in deep water to stay cool and avoid the sun. A hippo, leaving the water and moving on to the grassy bank to forage, is a species dependent on water during the day and grassy areas at night. And it is this movement between the two environments that makes it vulnerable to being tracked during the transitional moment. A group of lions silently formed their ranks. They didn't rush to attack, but observed the hippo's movements, then suddenly approached from multiple directions, creating continuous pressure to force the prey out of its advantageous position. This relentless pressure forced the hippo to make a choice. The hippo immediately turned and sprinted back towards the river, using its weight and familiar path to break through the encirclement. The lions tried to follow, but gradually lost momentum. The distance widened, and the outcome ultimately favored the hippo as it managed to reach safe waters. This situation illustrates how large species often avoid direct confrontation through different lifestyles. The hippo maintains its watery territory, while the lions operate on the shore, and this separation reduces conflict, maintaining a stable environment in the most natural way. Amidst dense bushes and rocky hills, where large trees provide climbing opportunities and prey trails are close to water sources, leopards adapt remarkably. Unlike the African lynx, which relies on tall grass for cover, it uses elevated terrain to conceal prey and observe, often solitary. It leaves its safe haven to move, and this makes it vulnerable to being tracked over short distances. Along the edge of the sparse forest, a lioness moved slowly, keeping track of the wind, observing the moment the leopard left the tree trunk, then suddenly lunging out to cut across its path, creating pressure in the narrow space, and that cornering maneuver forced the leopard to choose between climbing a tree or escaping. The leopard immediately accelerated to find a place to climb, but the distance had shortened. The lioness maintained her momentum, closing in and blocking the leopard's approach to the tree trunk. The struggle was brief, and the final outcome favored the lioness, as the leopard did not have time to reach a safe position. This encounter highlights how predators are forced to adjust their behavior when coexisting, where each species gradually occupies its own time and territory to avoid direct conflict. This separation helps the ecosystem function stably without excessive competition. On the vast grasslands of East Africa, cheetahs choose open, sparsely vegetated areas with good visibility to hunt, often perched on termite mounds, observing from a distance, and striking in the early morning or late afternoon, relying on calculated speed and bursts of agility. This choice of environment gives them an advantage in acceleration, but also reveals their movement when being tracked. From the leeward side, a lion silently approaches, lowering its body and following the cheetah's trajectory, then suddenly accelerates, cutting across to close the distance before the opponent can reach maximum speed. This movement forces the cheetah to react immediately. The cheetah instantly sprints at full speed, but the short acceleration causes it to lose its balance when forced to change direction. The lion uses its weight and momentum to overwhelm it at close range, ending the encounter with the lion's victory. The outcome shows that the difference between speed and sustained power is real. In open space where vision is an advantage, even a single slow decision can change the course of events. And the ultimate advantage belongs to the one who controls the distance. In the African savanna near a water source, a white rhinoceros moves slowly, its body weighing thousands of pounds and its skin nearly 2 inches thick to withstand impacts. This species usually chooses open grasslands for easy observation. While black rhinos live in dense bushes for concealment, its presence in open spaces makes it more easily spotted and also puts it within the sights of a lurking predator. In the tall grass, a lion lowers its body, circles with the wind, and locks onto its target, a young rhino, then suddenly accelerates to take advantage of the brief moment when the distance is close enough. And that movement forces the mother rhino to react immediately. The mother rhino instantly turns to shield her young, maintaining distance and constantly shifting positions to prevent the lion from getting close. After several attempts, the predator stops and retreats. And it is these encounters that contribute to the natural balance between predator and prey, where every decision affects the stability of the entire ecosystem. In open roads and sparse forests, African elephant herds travel dozens of kilometers each day in search of water and food. When a young elephant temporarily leaves the group and heads towards the riverbank, this species relies on ample space to maintain its large herd, and it is precisely this short distance that puts it vulnerable, thus opening up an unavoidable danger. On the edge of the water's edge, a lion kept its distance, carefully observing the young elephant's movements. It didn't rush to approach, waiting until the prey entered a narrow area, then suddenly accelerated, closing in for a short chase, forcing the young elephant to react immediately. Realizing the danger, the young elephant tried to return to the herd, but the slippery ground slowed it down. The lion seized this opportunity to maintain close proximity and corner it, ultimately favoring the predator as the prey had no time to escape. Situations like this illustrate the difference between the strength of a herd and a moment of separation, where even a small misstep can alter the outcome, contributing to the natural balance. Through each confrontation, a common thread always emerges. Lions rely not only on strength, but also on timing, distance control, and target selection. Every victory or defeat reflects a natural law. where instinct, environment, and tactics determine the outcome in a matter of seconds. And in the wild, the most fearsome is not the one that attacks the most, but the one that strikes at the right moment